Today's program has been brought to you by TechServe, New York's original and still the best Apple computer, iPod, and iPhone store and repair shop. For more information, visit techserve.com. You're listening to Heritage Radio Network, broadcasting live from Bushwick, Brooklyn. If you like this program, visit heritageradionetwork.org for thousands more.
We talk about food, we talk about music, with musical dudes, finger on the pulse, snacky tunes.
Like I'm only a ghost, like I'm only a wall. And if you come around, honey, I'll probably just follow you home. Cause it's all that I know how to do. I was born by a body, I'll die by one too. And places are nothing if they ain't got you. And one day I'ma be a steamboat, baby. One day I can be a freight train lady. I roll down the river and the miles won't faze me. Oh, I wish I was better at being alone. Still every night I call you on the phone. Oh, I wish I was more than my skin and my bone. But I've been arranging each of my movements and all of my gestures and trying to fool myself into thinking that everything's small, that nothing has reason. I woke up and cried. A convulsion of honesty brought me to life when I thought I was gone. But I can't put a lie in the mouth of a song. And one day I'ma be a steamboat, baby. One day I can be a freight train lady. Roll down the river and the miles won't faze me. Oh, I wish I was better at being alone. Still every night I call you on the phone. Oh, I wish I was more than my skin and my bone. Oh, I wish I was more than my skin and my bone.
All right, welcome to Snacky Tunes. Happy New Year. I think this is it, right? This is the last day where you have to say Happy New Year to people.
Yep. Now, if you don't do it now, you got to wait till next year.
Right. This is it. This is the last day. Everyone you talk to, every email this is it. That was just Adrianne Lenker with Steamboat off her album Hours for the Birds. Hi, how are you?
Hello, I'm good.
Happy New Year.
Oh, thank you. You know, this is the last day that you can say that.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Adrianne will be performing later in the show. But first up, we have Jeff Bailey.
Hello.
A.K.A. Jeff Glasshouse. From the amazing Whirlybird. So good. It's right around the corner from me. But even if it wasn't, I think I trucked out the very first day when you opened.
Did you?
Yeah, because I used to live in Austin and I go all the time and you can't ever get breakfast tacos.
I was excited for myself too. I thought that I didn't have to go to Texas to get it.
So let's step back a little bit, because before you got into food, you had a music career.
I did. I used to be somebody.
No,
I'm just kidding. I never was anybody. I was a bass player, which is the opposite of somebody.
And what was the name of your band? Or bands?
Well, I've played in a lot of bands. Most recently, I spent about 7 years as the bass player in a band called Phosphorescent. Mm-hmm. I did spent a long time touring and playing on the last couple records for the man Matthew Houck's music, and yeah, so I was doing that. I was working on another project with members of that band called Virgin Forest, which is a slightly different kind of style of music, and you know, slowly writing my own music and playing. I don't know, I just basically played with whoever asked me to play, and I, you know, I've been playing bass since I was 15, and you know, a lot of people need a bass player, so I did that for a long time.
I feel like the rhythm section, like the bass and the drums, guys who focus mainly on that play in a lot of bands because they're not the singer-songwriter mentality of trying to do their own thing all the time.
I always approach it like I was never really like a guitarist who ended up playing bass because he, you know, I really enjoyed playing and finding that pocket and helping to make these songs sound really, really, you know, better, you know. It just feels good to play music, and I've just been doing that for a long time.
Important question, how's your bass face?
Oh god, it's disgusting. People, it's amazing.
Did you start off having a bass face, or was it immediate, or did it evolve?
No, it's been the same one. It's been the same one the whole time. I can't even.
You can't attempt unless you're.
It has to. I have to be playing a bass. I have to be in the middle of something real special. You know what I mean? I have to be like I gotta be, you know, deep in that pocket. You know what I mean?
Do you feel it coming on, or do you?
I don't even notice it. But if you look at pictures, you will see it's the same one. It's a very, very subtle duck face, but it's a thing of beauty. I mean, not many people can resist it. You know what I mean? That's what people mostly talk about when they, you know, when they write. You know, when the press writes about my soaring bass lines and stuff. You know, never happened.
Oh my god. Jeff Bailey's soaring bass line are only matched by his intense bass face.
That was my joke, is that because, like, you know, like bass playing never gets written about like in bands and stuff like that. Nobody gives a shit, but consciously. But my joke was that like somebody would write about my soaring bass lines. But soaring. You'd never say that. Nobody would ever say that.
So when did you start thinking that you were going to open up a restaurant?
I kind of had the thought, and I would just be on tour constantly, and then I'd come back and I'd get bored between tours, and I'd just find a job bartending.
Any place of note?
I worked at Rafifi. I was working.
Wow. Did you ever work Friday nights or trash?
Yeah, that was my shift.
I probably bought drinks from you.
Awesome. Yeah, I have some of my favorite. Just like what a.
Can you regale us with one story from like the heyday of trash or Rafifi, or for those who don't know what it is?
I just remember like it was every week it was the same tight crew of people that used to just hang out there all the time, listening to Smiths, Morrissey, like mid-period Placebo or whatever, you know, like, and it was fun, you know, like it seemed like those kids were having a really, really good time. My favorite was just like when like you'd all of a sudden middle of the night every Friday you'd hear like a knocking on the door and somebody would have locked themselves in there just doing something, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like, you know, eventually they'd send me, because I was not threatening, but I could, you know, I had no qualms about telling somebody to get out of the bathroom, you know what I mean? So I knew how to jimmy open the door, and I'd jimmy open the door, and there's always just like some like balled out, like leaned, like asymmetrical haircut dude with like white makeup, vampire style, like just like being this like awkwardly fucked on the toilet by some strange girl. And I just, you know, I just wonder, like, our joke was just like, how many trash babies were born every year? You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
How many trash babies?
Not enough?
Not enough. I don't know.
I wonder if they're all named like Morrissey.
They're probably all named Marr or Johnny Marr or what else? International Playboy.
Yeah. So you're working at Rafifi and going like, there might be something better else out there.
But my best friend at the time, who's now my wife, who I now have a child with, Brooke Baxter, like I had helped her out at this place called Glass House. It was this beautiful, weird, chaotic art space, and she wanted to do that same thing, but in a more sort of constructed, lasting way that could have a relationship with the community and be an art space. And I was like, I will do anything for that. So she and her partner Roland got this warehouse. I was like, whatever you need me to do. I helped her. I helped the carpenter build the back of it, and I ended up living there for about 2 years, just being the whatever barback sound guy.
And the name of that space was
Glasslands.
Amazing.
And which is actually where I met you.
Yes,
I
indeed.
was a bartender there, and you used to do the Finger on the Pulse shows.
Yes, we did. Give out Colt 45.
Sponsored by Colt 45.
Yikes! I remember when Glassland opened.
Yeah,
It was crazy. I was like, "What is this place where people are living in the back?"
I mean, at the time, I loved it. For me, at that point in my life, I didn't care. I had a windowless place in the back of.
No, it was
Glassland.
great. It was.
I felt like I had the biggest living room in Brooklyn. It was awesome. We had shows from time to time. It was a real, it really felt like an idyllic way to live in Brooklyn. Like, if you're going to live in Brooklyn, just having the beautiful space where you could book shows and have things, just whatever you wanted. That place was so flexible and wonderful, and Brooke and Roland were just so driven in this amazing way to make that space. And in the beginning it was amazing. They had after school programs for kids, and just they were really building
A community center.
Yeah, a community center that had shows, and then and then she worked really, really hard to legitimize that. And I was
Now it's a legitimate space.
now it's a legitimate space. She's since moved on to
Manhattan.
She opened the Manhattan, and she sold she sold Glasslands to the Pop Gun guys who had been booking there forever.
Amazing.
They wanted a whole office and stuff, and her and Roland went to open up the Manhattan Inn, which is a beautiful cocktail bar.
But so you got a taste for something more permanent than being on tour and working at Rafifi.
Yeah, I was on the road for 7 years, just kind of I didn't have an apartment. I was living on Brooke's couch before we were dating, and just kind of working at spots, and just
And then you slowly transitioned into the bed, right?
couch to the bed.
It's a good move.
Yeah, it was it was way more comfortable.
No, if you write an autobiography, it should be called that.
Yeah,
Couch to the bed.
yeah.
The Jeff and Brooke story.
The Jeff and Brooke story.
So, what year is this?
For what?
That you're starting to think you want something more permanent.
That was that was 2-3 years ago. I was ready. I was ready for something a little bit. I needed to ground myself in some way. I was really, really happy traveling, and that served its purpose, and I got to go all over the world just for playing bass. Made a little bit of money,
Nice.
and I got to see things. I got to live out that sort of prolonged adolescent dream of traveling around the world, and
at some point, you stumbled across the Breakfast Taco.
Breakfast Taco, Austin, Texas. Phil Waldorf, the owner of Phosphorescence record label Dead Oceans, showed up with a sack of those things.
What year is this?
This is 2007.
Okay.
2007.
Do you remember where they were from?
They were from, why is it?
Taco Hut?
Why is this,
Taco Shack?
Tortilla? It was way out. It was out of the city. It was this little shop. I think it was Taco Shack. No, I don't know. Come back to me on that. I can't remember right now. But
So you had it, and was it a revelatory moment? Did you see the face of God in that Breakfast Taco?
no, I just realized that bread was wrong. Bread was what that did for me is realize that the tortilla is such an evolution of the edible napkin that is bread. You know what I mean? It's it never goes bad, and it suited everything about me. You could buy a pack of tortillas and have, they don't go bad as fast, and you can just kind of make whatever sandwich on it. You don't feel horrible.
Yeah.
I ate 100 of them. Not 100, but I just
A lot.
I ate the bag, and then I told him I made him drive me out there, and I wanted to see where these things were made, and it was just these. 4 Mexican ladies just slopping eggs and bacon on it. It was so simple and so cheap and so good. and it never really left me. It never like. I thought about them all the time. I thought about them when I was in New York. I made them for myself for breakfast. Like I had kind of mastered what actually eventually became sort of what I serve now.
Okay.
I kind of did my own twist on it, and then when I opened the store, I was just like, I figured, I just like, that's what I started selling, and people were okay with it,
All right, well, we're going to take a quick musical break, and then we're going to talk about selling those breakfast tacos, the birth of Whirlybird, and the evolution.
Cool.
Cool.
Don't you touch my dude. And you had this coming to you. Each laundromat a new life. Shopping carts abandoned in the night. Repaired pianos in our room. The kids come up to dance in the June. Your signs will soon appear in space. Don't worry, dear, don't go away. Typewrite your message to me. Like it's 1918. We'll write letters to men we won't send. They watch us sleep, but we just pretend. Repaired pianos in our room. The kids come up to dance in the June. Your signs will soon appear in space. Don't worry, dear, don't go away. The lines we made were laid in tape. The lamps that we love are the lamps that will break. We laid a claim on disarray. Don't worry, dear, don't go away. Just don't go away. Artifacts of habits, don't look back to grab them. You were there once, you had it. You were there once, you had it. Artifacts of habits, don't look back to grab them. You were there once, you had it. You were there once, you had it. That pillar salt is static. That pillar salt is static. That pillar salt is static. That pillar salt. Repaired pianos in our room. The kids come up to dance in the June. Your signs will soon appear in space. Don't worry, dear, don't go away. The lines we made were laid in tape. The lamps that we love are the lamps that will break. We laid a claim on disarray. Don't worry, dear, don't go away. Don't worry, dear, don't go
This special program was brought to you by TechServe, New York's premier authorized Apple reseller and service provider, serving creative professionals at all levels, from individual customers to Fortune 100 companies. TechServe has built a solid reputation in their expertise in technology, sales, and service. Visit them on the web at techserve.com or in New York City at 119 West 23rd Street. Learn more about their in-store classes and incredible insider program. Make stuff happen. TechServe.
All right, welcome back to Snacky Tunes. We're here with Jeff from Whirlybird, and we were just talking about the first time you had a breakfast taco and how you started making them.
Right.
And how did that involve from you making them in your bedroom? And I'm assuming that making breakfast tacos was part of your courtship with Brooke?
No, not really. No, not really. It was based on other things.
Okay. So how did Whirlybird get out of your kitchen and into an actual store in Williamsburg?
Well, I was ready. I had the idea to open a coffee shop, and Brooke was like, well, Brooke's the kind of person who will say, all right, this, and she had opened 2 places before, so she was able to kind of give me the answer, like things that would normally stop me from opening a shop. She would be like, nope, this is how it's possible. You know what I mean? And she basically just looked, and we found this space where it is now, and it was really agreeable rent. And
it's the perfect setting for a taco shack.
Yeah, it's 300 square feet. It had been closed for 2 years, and it was a baked potato shop that looked like, when they gave me the key, like when I looked at it, it looked like one day this baked potato shop had closed and just left.
Wait, they just served baked potatoes?
Yeah, they were a baked potato store. What was it called? Potato Cafe, oddly enough.
That is an interesting concept.
I remember when that was open, and I was like, and I walked by it a lot of times. I was like, that's a pretty novel concept, but like, I feel, I don't want to talk too much about what their story was, because I have no idea. All I know is that they left me 3 refrigerators, a decent menu board, and a fridge full of beer, and a stereo.
2 potatoes that grew into 18.
Dude,
you must have found some funky spuds in there.
Oddly enough, nothing was really that gross in there, but there was a Coca-Cola fridge full of beer, which I used constructively. And they had a stack full of R. Kelly CDs which was sort of like the soundtrack to building the place, taking it apart and building it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Were they bootlegs or like?
No, actual CD. There was this spin. You know how they have CDRs and people that becomes people's CD holders. There was just pretty much the catalog from '97 to 2003 of radio R&B on there, and that was sort of.
That just seems so specific to be eating only loaded baked potatoes, listening to R. Kelly.
I can't. I can imagine the party that is.
So, what year did you open?
I opened December 3rd, 2011. 2 years ago.
And to, congratulations.
Thank you.
And to pretty good reviews right out the gate.
Dude, right out of the gate. I think that the idea, because of opening a coffee shop that had breakfast tacos, I knew, it's one of those ideas you have. You're like, I know this is a good idea because it doesn't exist in any major way in New York, and I didn't want it, and I wanted to open a coffee shop, but I really wanted to bring something new to the table, and that it felt right. And when I did, and I was right, because people got really excited about it, and I had a bunch of great write-ups in the beginning, and all my friends were excited. I was excited. People traveling from Texas, any band that had ever been to Texas, was pretty stoked about it, And not only that, I didn't really just ape an Austin, Texas taco. I sort of made my own version of it.
Let's talk about that. So, what's the name of it? How did it come to be? Why did you do that specific taco?
I just called it. I basically just wanted my idea. I basically just wanted to have scrambled eggs with cheese, and I wanted to involve chorizo, which is my favorite style of meat on the planet, even more than bacon. And that's all I wanted to sell. And then my friend Francisco came in early on, and he's like, sure, let's do this. And he sort of place the chorizo in sort of like almost like a pepper, red and green pepper poblano tomato sauce, almost like a ragu, almost like that, because that was his style of cooking, and I was like, this is amazing. And then I wanted to like make crispy potatoes on there, but it kept smoking out the restaurant because there's not amazing ventilation in there, and I was trying to cook within the limitations so that you don't have to buy a hood.
Yeah.
So basically, you can't really smoke out the place. And when I cooked the potatoes, when I was like blackening the potatoes, it would smoke the place out. So I just put crushed up potato chips because I wanted a little bit of crunch on there, and it just sort of
works.
Became I literally just said go with it, and kind of have tweaked it since then and perfected it.
It's great, and you do rotate in every once in a while some other tacos.
Oh yeah, we always have a lunch taco, and we try to experiment, but like I think what's very attractive about the place is that it's very, very simple. You're not met with a lot of choices. You're just kind of like, okay, this is this and this is that, and if that's what you want, then it's there for you.
I feel like that's a new trend with restaurants where it's just a couple of items just done all very well. It's not like a giant, 2-3 dozen menu items.
I think that something that on that scale, I think that's the only way to not drive yourself insane. If you have a 300 square foot restaurant and you're trying to do 20, 30 different items with 1,000 variations, it's just going to be, you're not going to have an enjoyable time running a restaurant, and you're going to have a lot of waste. And when you're doing a place that small, you really are like micromanaging to sort of maximize profits and make it sustainable.
Now, one of the things that you guys do is you also do this thing where you featured record labels. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I wanted to do that from the beginning because music is and always has been my life, and I wanted to and I wanted to have a record player in there from the get-go. That was essential to me, and I wanted to show love to record labels that were, to smaller record labels at first just in Brooklyn that we're just keeping physical media alive, because I think it's such a beautiful artifact to keep doing, and it totally doesn't make sense, and but it's the best way to listen to music still,
Yeah. What labels have you featured?
I've had all over. It's expanded beyond Brooklyn, but I started with Partisan Records, which is based out of Brooklyn, and they had just put out a Virgin Forest record, and so I wanted to make them part of the conversation, and then I did this amazing record label that called No Quarter that does a lot of weird stuff, and then since then I've had like New West, French Kiss, everything, Captured Tracks, and and then I don't know, recently Columbia Legacy was just like, would you pick 15 records from our catalog? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever,
Oh.
I wanted to be like I didn't want to be a snob, but
No. And Columbia's got a great history.
they do, and I really wanted a copy of Graceland, and I wanted that new Bob Dylan self-portrait box set, and they were like, yeah, here you go. I was like, great.
Great.
It's also, selfishly, it's a great way to get a bunch of free records every month to listen to and share with people, and it makes the conversation mostly about music, which is
51% of why we do the show is free pizza every week.
Yeah, that's
maybe 52.
You got to make it worth it for yourself in this life.
So what's coming up for Whirlybird? Menu expansion? What's 2004 look like?
2014, I want to start doing delivery. I just had a good experience with your office where you work, where I delivered 250 tacos. So
they were delicious. Everyone thanks you.
Yeah, it was so I kind of want to just do via Seamless. I just want to do like clumps of 5 or 10 tacos, and be able to deliver them to offices, because it's I think that it's really good for morale if you start your day with a breakfast taco.
Oh my God, it's better than morale.
Yeah,
it's like the day starts on the highest of notes.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't matter how bad your day gets. It started out all right,
Yeah. And but before I forget, what coffee do you serve there?
I spent 7 years working always at Oslo, and in my opinion, my humble opinion, it's still the best coffee and most consistently well roasted coffee. And they keep it simple, which I like. You know what I mean? They roast a few different things, a few different profiles. You don't really have to talk about it like wine. It's just this really, really good style of coffee that I really respect.
Amazing. Well, I want to thank you so much.
No problem.
Where can people go? Is there Instagram, Twitter, website?
Twitter and Instagram is Whirlybird NY. I'm extremely glib and clever on Twitter, and my Instagram's just beautiful. I had a baby, so there's like baby pictures in there sometimes too. But what nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong at all. It's a good day for breakfast tacos.
Yeah.
Pretty good vibe here in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whirly's open because it's not our first rodeo. Amateurs. Okay.
See what I'm saying? Pretty glib.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
I mean, it's. I feel like I've lost some edge. I got to get it back. It's winter time.
Yeah. And all right. Well, cool. All right. Well, I also want to thank you for letting Adrianne take off from work today
Oh yeah, that's fine.
to come and play after this. We're gonna do another musical break.
Darling, I was your safety home. There was no bed to call to make. I could have been, but you always want what you cannot have. You push me away just to beg for me back. No, 'cause you always want what you cannot have. You push me away just to beg for me back. And darling, I'm here for you. I could be here for you. We could be more than friends. There could be more to this. I could be. And I told you before, don't abuse my love. Oh, I'm here for you now. And if loving you were to die, oh, I'd do anything to try. But you always want what you cannot have. You push me away just to beg for me back. No, 'cause you always want what you cannot have. You push me away just to beg for me back. And darling, I could be here for you. We could be more than friends. There could be more to this. I could be.
All right. I mean, I know they keep putting out records, but their first one's really the best. They have that youth where I think probably half the people didn't really know how to play the instruments. The lead guy was just like, just keep pressing these 3 buttons.
Yeah.
Well, Adrianne, welcome to Snacky Tunes.
Thank you.
I know we're not going to go into it, but my vote is that you don't take down your story bio section.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just...
Thorough.
It's thorough. How long did it take you to write it?
Oh, I don't know. I guess it was an afternoon.
All right. All we really need to know is that you started playing as a child, and your father taught you how to play music.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a long list of inspirations.
Yes.
We'll sum it up like this. What from your childhood, teenage years still resonates today with you as a musician and a performer?
Well, I'm sure a lot, even just on a subconscious level, because I was taking in so much when I was a kid. I mean, I started playing when I was 6, and had a lot of. I got to work with a lot of older musicians who had been doing it for a long time, and my experiences were. I just kind of look at it like my school. Like that was school for me. Recording and recording. I recorded a couple records before I was 16, and that was amazing. I would never take that back. And yeah, I learned a lot, and a lot of it, I'm sure, is why I'm where I am now.
Which is?
I guess I can't pinpoint it exactly, but even just, I guess, just feeling comfortable, having such a long relationship with music, and feeling, like, my guitar is like the closest thing to me. I don't know, I may not feel that way if I had just started playing, but since I've been playing forever, for as long as I can remember, I have a special relationship with it.
How long have you had that guitar?
This one I've had since I was 14.
Wow. It's in good shape.
Yeah, I try not to be too rough on it. Although recently it took a tumble.
Oh, what happened?
It was the first time I was just depositing a paycheck, and I stepped outside of the bank, and I had it in a soft case, a travel case, and I knew when I was taking that case out, I knew that it wasn't very well padded, and I was a little bit worried about it, but I didn't have my case, and I was using a friend's case, and the strap came off, and it just fell vertically, just straight down on the bottom of the body, and the cracked the wood, split the wood up the top, up the face of the guitar, and then up the back too. Yeah, so I just started crying so hard.
Oh.
It was awful. I thought it was, because I opened up the case, I was like, oh shit, and I, it was a pretty intense moment. I felt like my baby had just fallen, but it
looks good now.
But now, actually.
You got all fixed up?
I got it fixed up.
Nice.
Got a good deal on it.
All right. Well, do you want to play us a song on your fixed up guitar?
Sure.
What are you going to play for us first?
This one's new. It doesn't have a title yet.
All right.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to take off my headphones.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I step outside and make my way on from Carolina. Anyway the weather blows, home is where I find you, with the ache inside to ride the mighty wind and nothing more. Oh, I just wanna see you there, sleeping on my floor. Well, I don't really like you, I just wanna kiss you. I don't know how to love you, but some days I miss you. I just wanna see you there, sleeping on my floor, with the ache inside to ride the mighty wind and nothing more. And I'm calling on angels now, I want them to set me free. I hope that they're real, though sometimes it feels like nobody's listening. Went walking. I hate those wicked words they'd say when they started talking. He was headed for the open road, she turned and slammed the door. Said learning love ain't easy, child, when all you see is war. fences down and pushing on the levees. This water's getting high again, these hands are getting heavy, and we are all just hypocrites vying for a shore, with the ache inside to ride the mighty wind and nothing more. But she came and shook me tenderly one night while I was drinking. The alcohol was quick as sand and took me down a sinking. The sinking took me praying and I fell upon the floor. I said, I'm waiting for my time to go, please tell it to me, Lord. And I'm calling on angels now, I want them to set me free. I hope that they're real, though sometimes it feels like nobody's listening. And the moon and the sun and the stars shone bright and high, and I can't help but wonder the way that the world goes by. Well, I hope that they're real, and I'll wait for them till I die.
Awesome. Really nice. Really
Thanks.
pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's talk about the album, which is, you are considering, despite having previous albums, this is your first album, Hours Were the Birds.
Mm-hmm.
Love the title.
Thank you.
Where did that come from?
Time flies.
Time flies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Nice. It's a pun?
Kind of.
I love it
guess.
even more.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the process of putting out your first album, and when did you start writing songs for it, or is this are these songs from your entire life that got put into your first album?
These are songs that I've been working on for maybe, I guess the earliest one on there is from when I was about 17, which is Disappear.
Okay.
And then there's another track on there, Lighthouse, from when I was 18, and then it's basically, I just chose these songs from a bunch of songs that I've written over the last 4 years.
How do you feel about it? Like, is it like having your first child?
Yeah, kind of. Well, I don't know, because I've never had a child, but I think, yeah, it's definitely vulnerable.
Yeah. I guess that's more, not in the birth way, but just like
Yeah.
putting something out there that you created and sort of you're protective about it, but it's got a life of its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all really special to me. And it's always it can be kind of scary putting something out there that's that close to you, but it's cool, too, to finally just let them go and let other people hear them.
So when you were writing the album, we always like to ask, what was the food and drink situation in the studio and the inspiration of sustenance from a dietary point of view?
What was I eating while I was recording it?
Yeah, and drinking and having in the studio.
It's funny, when I recorded these, I was alone the whole time.
Really?
I mean, no, it was me and then Rob Osterlin, the recording engineer.
Okay.
But I actually made this sandwich that sounds disgusting, but I still think about it. It's just bread. I don't remember what kind it was. It's the antithesis of the tortilla. I'm sorry, Jeff. But it had bread and then miso on it.
Like miso paste?
Yes.
Okay.
It's gonna get really weird. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Peanut butter,
I'm with you so far.
banana,
Still with, yeah.
and avocado.
Okay.
That's where I might lose some people.
Oh man.
It sounds really weird.
It just sounds really mushy.
Yeah, I
it
was
was
gonna
mushy,
say,
but
I was
it
gonna
was-
say that's I'm less weirded out by the flavors, more of like a texture thing.
Yeah, it's just.
Did you toast the bread?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so there's some crunch there.
Yeah. Is that gonna? Do you see that making it on the Whirlybird menu anytime soon?
I mean, no.
I mean, I'll put it this way: miso, peanut butter, banana.
I just think that miso's.
Delish.
I guess I don't know.
Miso just adds a little bit of salt.
Yeah.
You know, you don't
No,
put
no, no.
tons of miso.
No, I'm with you on that.
But banana and avocado, I will say that's weird. That's kind of odd.
What do you like about that flavor combo?
Well, I was thinking, I was craving too many things at once. Like have you ever had a smoothie with avocado in it?
Yeah.
That can be really good. And I was kind of wanting that, but I also wanted a sandwich.
Did you make this sandwich multiple times?
No, I've only
okay.
ever made it the one time.
And how did you feel about it?
Well, it stuck in my memory.
Yeah, I don't think that's a flavor you would forget.
I really enjoyed it, and I think I'll make it again someday. And I had it with I had a beer with it, a stout.
Okay.
I
That
was
is
really
just-
proud of that snack.
That's just a lot of food thickness.
Yeah, well, I like thick food.
Okay. Okay.
I think some of the most beautiful music can be made when you're just on the verge of throwing up. You know what I mean? That's when you can be truly honest with yourself and with others.
I think this was towards the end of the day, and I was really tired. I felt empty.
That sounds like a very tired made meal.
Also, I didn't have that many groceries left. It was kind of just what was left, and I put them all together.
That also sounds like a end of the grocery.
Yeah, so
You know what? That was a lie. I had my choice of so many different
Oh
groceries.
man.
I just wanted that
It was
combination.
first thing in the morning, and I had just got to the grocery store. Do you remember what song you were recording around that time?
After I believe that was the banana avocado miso song that I
That's it's burning up the charts in
Yeah.
the Philippines, I think.
yeah.
The dance that goes with it is also very amazing.
yeah, it's nauseating.
I think there's no way I can remember what songs I was working on that day, but I could play something from around that time.
Okay, let's hear a song from that time. What are you thinking?
I'll play the title track of that album.
Okay.
Okay. So this is called Hours with the Birds. Let's see if I can remember how to play it.
I got something here, it's a chance. I'ma make my changes as I go in the city lights dance away the stars. I have met all kinds of reasons why the seasons leave their scars. I am thin as cinnamon and tarnished like these metal cars that drive along the rivers of the tar. I am weatherproof as the rain, and I fooled every lover into drinking up my pain. I am hanging by the edges of my name, but I am warm, so comfortable forgetting about the storm. I love Minnesota, Michigan, Colorado too, Atlanta, Montana, Nebraska, and the moon and you. I must have been a traveler inside of the womb. Never had a place with a living room. You said a house is a tomb. Well, zoom, 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 here we go, Annie, no more planning. Isn't this dandy? I've got you and you've got me. dusk and the moon and you. Well, life is easy come and it's easy go too. Hours were the birds and I guess they flew. I just can't get a grip on this place, Billy Lou. Well, zoom, 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 here we go, Annie, no more planning. Isn't this dandy? I've got you and you've got me.
Awesome. That's a good title track.
Thank you.
When you write a title track, or when you name a song, or an album after a song, how does that process go? Do you write the song and then you're like, oh, I think this song represents the album, so I'm going to name the album after it, or what's the thought behind it?
I really had no... finding a name for the album was something that came kind of last, and it was after I had all the songs together. And I just felt like Hours with the Birds. I mean, it wasn't the plan to name it after one of the songs, but I just felt like that kind of captured the spirit of the record in general, because it came from a time when it's kind of, a lot of stuff is about growing up and just that feeling, and I felt like it was appropriate, and I just liked the way it sounded, and kind of wanted to just do the obvious thing. I just kind of wanted to go for it and not try to make it any more mysterious. Just name it and have the first song be that. It's not necessarily the peak of the album or anything, or I don't know. Yeah, it's just
Just is.
Yeah, I just liked it.
Sometimes you just got to go after things that you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No mystery.
No mystery.
Too much mystery.
Too much mystery?
There's too much mystery. Let's keep it simple.
Yeah.
You know, I have to say that I feel sometimes in this area, there's sometimes like things are shrouded in mystery, or...
Yeah. I feel like we're living in a post-mystery world, and I think she's kind of leading the way, you know?
Yeah.
It's post-mystery.
Pomai?
Pomai, yeah.
Or Pomi?
Pomis.
Pomus.
Pumice.
So what's next? What do you got coming up? What's on the dockets?
Well, I'm gonna do a tour in May, and I'm
Is your
just
boss
starting
going
to
to let
plan.
you get off work?
I hope so, but I don't know. Maybe I won't talk too much about that right now. I'm just kidding.
Well, we can work it out. I mean, it's a perfect time to work out a schedule. No.
Yeah. We got time on it, right?
Yeah.
Joe, we got time on the air for them to work
Jeff
at the
has
schedule?
always been really flexible about music stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, I've worked at jobs. As long as the people who work for me if they do a good job, they can come and go, and I'll bend over backwards for it. You know, because like I always when I worked at places, I just did a really, really good job, and then I went on tour, and then when I came back, they gave me the job back because I did as good or better a job than anybody else they could find. So, you know, if the job, I also never expected that job to be back for me. So I had a lot of jobs, but I try to be flexible, you know, as much as I can.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be.
There's no point. I mean, you're gonna work at my coffee shop for the rest of your life, you know?
You are.
I mean, yeah, I am, but that's my choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So you're going to go on tour.
Jeff just makes it clear that as long as we do a Skype session where I'm showing him me practicing making an egg every night that I'm on tour, like I just have to be practicing and further perfecting the Whirlybird breakfast taco, and send him evidence.
How about your breakfast taco making skills?
She's actually really, really good. She came in and just like, I just showed her one time, and she even got like the nuances of, the key is how you scramble the egg, and she mastered it, you know?
What's the key?
Scrambling the egg, putting it on a little bit of oil in a cold pan, and then just moving it around so that it's like right between being underdone and overdone, and the egg is still shiny, and it has this like almost cheese.
You make curds. You sort of steam it.
Yeah.
That's how I do my eggs.
It's in my opinion, it's the only way. Like,
it's the only way.
That's how you scramble it.
You make a big old curd.
Yep.
You don't want it to be dry.
No, I don't like people who like when you see the pan afterward, it's all burnt and your eggs all brown and things like that. Like some people do scrambled eggs on a really high heat.
Yeah.
make them, they scramble in a minute. I don't get that.
I don't know. I think it's like I don't know why that was ever cool. Maybe they just I think those people have just never had eggs the right way. You know what I mean?
Maybe they're impatient. I don't know. I feel like you just gotta wait. You just gotta wait for your eggs to scramble.
Whatever floats your boat, though.
Yeah.
If you like that burnt taste.
I don't know. I really feel that there's a right way and a wrong way to make scrambled eggs.
Yeah. I think that there's one one way to do it.
So you're gonna go on tour in May.
Yeah.
You're playing a show soon, right?
I'm playing on the 15th, which is this Wednesday.
Where are you
I
playing?
believe it's this Wednesday. Yeah, at Rockwood Music Hall, Stage
Oh.
2,
Nice.
in Lower East Side.
Nice. I've yet to go there. I heard it's nice though.
Yeah,
It's a cool
it'll
place.
be fun.
Um,
And I'm also, well, no, that doesn't. I'm playing in Boston soon too. But
Beantown. Go to Anna's Taqueria. They have great burritos there.
So good.
Have you had those? Yeah, it's the best. That might be my favorite.
I feel like every city I've been in, I seek out the Mexican food.
I think it's partially because New York's Mexican food overall is really lacking.
I think so. I mean, you can find it. You can know if you know where to find it. You can find it. There's two places that are gone from the Williamsburg area that I lament every day. Matamoros grocery store in the back of it, between North 6 and North 7.
Yeah, but Matamoros has been gone for...
I know that. I mean, I still lament it. And like this, my secret, it was La Valita Bakery on Grand and Bedford, the one with the dirty old cakes in it.
Oh, yeah.
$2 got you a taco that was overstuffed that you...
Wait, they made tacos there?
They made... Dude, they closed. It's gone. It's too late now. But they made chorizo tacos that you get one for $2, and it was overstuffed. They give you 2 tortillas, so you lift up one tortilla and eat over the first tortilla, and the stuff that would fall out of the first taco was your second taco, and it cost $2, and I lived on that.
I didn't even know they had tacos. I just ignored it.
I always try. I never told anybody about it because I wanted it to be my secret, and now it's gone, and now I'm sad about it. What?
do it.
Do what?
Do that.
No.
You can
I
add
can't.
that.
No, that's their...
Have you been to Mexico 2000? Up on Grand and Hooper?
That's where I get my chorizo.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the place that's still kind of holding the torch.
That place is great.
Yeah, I had to learn Spanish because I wanted to order my chorizo from them, and they
Do
won't.
they make their own chorizo?
They make their own chorizo, and it's unbelievable.
It is. That place is... I gotta go back there.
It's slamming.
It's slamming. Alright, so Adrian, what last song do you have for us?
I could play a newer one, or I could do one off of the record.
Whatever you want.
All right, I'll do this one.
But wait, before we go, how do people find you online? What's the nuts and bolts?
Well, you can get my record at adrianlenker.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
Or I have a Facebook page as well, just Adrianne Lenker, or my website, adrianne.com.
Just Adrian.com.
Adrianne or Adrianne Lenker, either will take you there.
That's amazing that you got just your first name. .com.
Yeah.
My dad's a web designer, and he got it for me when I was like 12.
Back.
He was on top of it.
There you go.
Teach you how to play music and buy new websites. Well, guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for being our first show of the year.
Awesome.
Again,
Yeah.
Happy New Year. Last day to say it.
Yep. Happy New Year, everybody. Don't try and say it to me tomorrow.
No. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Greg in LA.
Greg.
And then we have our first bar food blowout coming up on February 11th at Park Slope with the Maharlika and Jipney people.
Amazing.
Radical Dads will be DJing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll try and come out.
Yeah.
Can I bring my kid?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Bar friendly. All right, here we go. Last song, Snacky Tunes. Thank you so
you.
much. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Darren.
Thanks.
New York City gripped me like a big old machine. I went into one side, landed in a dream. It stirred me up and made me shout, and sometimes I forgot about the way the wind blows in and out of the cottonwood trees. And oh, it's easy to lose your mind. I'm hadn't found you. The avenues, the boulevards, businesses and schoolyards, shopping malls and motor cars, all in one scene. The lowest lows and the highest highs, the meanest noise and the lullabies, the poison and the compromise, the unspoken scream. And oh, it's so hard to find your place. I never found mine if I hadn't seen your face. And you can be my boss to Keaton, I'll be blossom, dearie. We can see the world so clearly. You'll color the gray away. I will sing you songs all day. The decay will just turn to bloom as we look at the good old-fashioned moon. Well, New York City split me like a log in a mill. Half of me happy, the other half ill. But I feel myself a-warming to the old neon chill. I still feel a longing, but it's chased by a thrill. And oh, it's so hard to find your place. And I never found mine if I hadn't seen your face. And you can be my boss to Keaton, I'll be blossom, dearie. We can see the world so clearly. You'll color the gray away. I will sing you songs all day. The decay will just turn to bloom as we look at the good old-fashioned moon.
Thanks for listening to this program on heritageradionetwork.org. You can find all of our archived programs on our website or as podcasts in the iTunes Store by searching Heritage Radio Network. You can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at @heritage_radio. You can email us questions at any time at info@heritageradionetwork.org. Heritage Radio Network is a nonprofit organization. To donate and become a member, visit our website today. Thanks for listening.